now need my Visual Studio. I don't know how well this is going to work on stream, but we'll see how we get going. So I've got a TSL slideshow plugin, so I'm going to create a new project. And this is going to be a TSL cab selector. No. Cab background. There you go. And this is it's a console application, I think. I don't remember. Let's open up TSL slideshow. So TSL slideshow is an OBS plugin that shows slideshow in a particular way. What references have we got here? CLR host.interrupt, and that's it. I could probably bolt it into this actually, so let's create a copy of that class. So instead of being in Eclipse using Java, we're now in Visual Studio doing C#. So cab image source factory, cab image source factory, cab image source class, cab background selector. Creates that. TSL cab selector settings. So I need to create both of those classes. So we'll. What's in here? Yeah, we can have that. Copy of that. So cab image source. Cab image source, DSL cab image source, cab image source. What? Oh, okay, that's what you're complaining about. Now, I'm going to get rid of stuff that I don't care about for the time being. Renders, which we are going to empty out, and dispose, which we're going to empty out, because a lot of this will actually end up coming back in the end. But I want to keep it simple, get it compiling and doing what I want, and then I can update it. So the other thing we've got is test settings. So I want to create, that is TSL cab selector settings, TSL. Right, let's okay. Stuff not being used, don't care, that's all fine. What I need to do now is open up another copy of OBS. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that, because this stream sort of falls on its head if I can't do that. There's a command line parameter for remember. Oh, dash multi. There we go. Yep, I found the right place to put it. So, if I create a shortcut, yep. No, I don't know where to put the shortcut. Excellent. There it is. One second, folks. Found it. There it is. Good. So I can now have 2 copies of OBS running. As you can see, I now have another copy of OBS running, which means I can test stuff without interfering too much. So, first thing I need to do is I've made a build. Let's put the put these in the right places. Is everyone falling asleep? Is it boring? OBS slideshow. There you are. 0505. There is the deal there, and that needs to go into plugins. Replace. Alright, so these are the 2 folders in question. Run OBS again. If I go to live game and preview, so this is the sort of the live game thing, and if I now add a new plugin, I have got TSL slideshow and nothing else. I was hoping the other plugin stuff would appear there. I wonder why not. Ah, okay. Okay, so instead of doing TSL slideshow, the name is now going to be TSL cab background selector. That's going to load that, and it's cab image source factory. We'll just do that for now. And now if I run OBS, We have a cab background selector. Excellent. So in our cab background selector, one of the things that we want to be able to do is, hang on, can we, I'm sure there's a way of getting logging up. Let me just get that up. Open a log folder, I think. It minimized. No, I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Right, so we can get logging. So what I need then is in... So I need to shut down Minecraft. Don't need you anymore, Minecraft. Thank you very much. So this now needs to talk to Train Simulator. So let's go ahead and copy the class file that helps us do that. Which is in rail driver interface. In there, I think. Let's copy that into there. So that gives me a rail sim interface. Now if I come into here, there's an option to show hidden files, which includes that. Include that in the project, and then get rid of the rubbish. That gets me all of the stuff I need. I also need dynamic DLL loader. Just that one. Repeat the same exercise. Right, hopefully now you're a bit happier. You are. Good. So now I've got access to everything I need within the game. What I do now need to know is a little bit of code that initializes it. So let me get that. There it is, that's what I'm looking for. So when we go into TS cab image source, first thing I want to do is connect to the game. I'm going to hard code that path for the time being. That's how my railworks is stored. Failed to connect to Train Simulator. New object. Right, so that will then return out from there. Don't even need to do that. Right. What I then want to do is in render, I want to ask rail simulate interface dot get loco name. That returns an int pointer. Great. I've got to remember how I deal with that int pointer now. Which is that one. That converts the int pointer back to a thingy, and you need to be imported. And then, if I keep an eye on what our current loco name is, and then in render, then no, yeah, if not false, then and we're changing loco to the new current loco name. So hopefully in the log file this should now tell me that OBS now knows when the game changes to a different loco. Shut that one down. We've rebuilt. Don't want that. Or that. I've messed my windows up here. That's that one. Except I want the log file separately. And this needs to be in projects, slideshow. That one. So let's copy that over. And run OBS. And then in live game we will add a cab background selector, which is there. We hit preview. Okay, so we can't do anything until OBS is finished. So what we'll do is we'll fire up train sim. Hey, Fierce Gaming. Why do I want to cascade windows, Dave? I like being lost in windows. When you click cascade, it makes them all nice and ordered. So I'm just waiting for Steam to load up, then fire the game up, and then we'll see whether or not the log file tells us anything of any interest. What I could do is if I hit stop preview and exit, and then we load the log file, loaded, successfully added CLR plugin background selector, and it doesn't really say anything else. And given I've not logged success, I've only logged failure, that's probably alright. Fierce Gaming, I can't play train, I can't stream Train Sim on this one. Dave, so you remember how I have a background image with the cab on it? In the normal instance. While we're waiting, essentially what I want this to do is to have access to a range of images, is to actually make a make it automatically change the background depending on the loco I'm driving. Just waiting for the game to start. Should be a moment. While we're waiting, essentially what I want this to do is to have access to a range of images in a folder. Let me just see if I can find where all my cab background images are. They're stored somewhere reasonably sensible. In there. Just like it did with the lights and tunnels. Kind of, yeah. So I want OBS is talking to TrainSim. It'll find out whenever TrainSim changes the loco, and then OBS can then change the image using this plugin. That's the theory. So TrainSim is running up now. I'm not going to stream TrainSim, I'm just going to leave it showing the IDE, because all I'm going to do on TrainSim is just keep changing locos. And that way I don't have to worry about menus and so forth. And to be honest, while I'm streaming, the frame rate is pretty abysmal on TrainSim, so it doesn't look great. Nice, Lloyd. TrainSim is now starting up, finally. Let's fire it up. So this is another copy of OBS that's pretending like I'm streaming at the moment, and to be honest, and you can see the TSL background cab selector is there. And I should probably stop it from actually streaming the game, otherwise it's going to give the game away. And now I need... How's the wasp? Well, I've not seen anything of the wasp. I can only assume that by turning off all the lights and making it dark, putting a light by the door has shown the wasp the way out. Either that or it's now really annoyed and it's just waiting to bite me in the backside at some point in the not too distant future. So the plugin is now running. It's hopefully connected to the game, and in theory the simple act of running a scenario... Let me find something not too time consuming to load. So I'll wait for that scenario to load, and we'll do that, and then we'll do a different one, and then we'll see what log entries we've got. If the log entries are right, then we can start looking at showing images based on them, and then we should be just about done, because it's always that easy. No, I don't have a background for each loco, no. Right, so, good night driver, good, excellent. Right, we're driving a train. Right, we're going to come out of that now. And I'm going to pick another scenario. No, I don't, but I've got enough backgrounds that we can, you know, fudge it a bit, really. Enceladus42, thank you for the host, much appreciated. Are they easy to capture? Oh, very easy. Very easy. You just basically load the game up, point the camera in the 8 view. Thanks to the host, Dave. Point the camera at the 8 view where you want, press Control S. Job done. Adding more cameras at the moment is a real pain in the neck, which is why I haven't really added any more, because all the images have to be sized up exactly the right, and if I ever want to move it, I've got to move hundreds of images into the right place. Whereas with this, all the images will be in one plugin, and I can resize that plugin, and I can do all sorts of things. Right, that's loaded a second scenario. Let's now come back out to the menu. We'll stop that preview, come out of OBS, open this. What did we get? What did we get? Did we get anything? I think the fact that I'm not returning an image has upset it. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Okay, let's make it load an image and just do that then, shall we? So in order to make it load an image, I'm going to need all these support functions back. Because I already have code in here that loads an image, because this used to do a slideshow. Now when I get to here, I need to do that bit. So in here, target texture is what's being upgraded up to date. So what is target texture? That's on check for new image. Okay, so load texture does what I want, so let's do that. Slightly confused about what's going on here now. That's fine, so that adds the image source factory, which adds a create, the CAD image source, and a show configuration. We know that bit worked because that popped up. So CAD image source is this one. So let's do load texture. Put an @ sign there to make life easy, and we're going to put that one on. That's a PNG. So that will do that, which means that target texture will be set up for doing that, and we should be in good shape. Now in here, put a positive log in there, and let's put let's not, that'll spam the heck out of everything. So in theory, all being well, this should actually load an image up into where the plugin goes. If I preview that, hasn't done. A dicky bird! So successfully added. Failed to invoke create on managed instruments on. It's trying to create that, so it's failed to create a copy of the class. So that sounds like the factory constructor has thrown an exception. Is that what's gone wrong here? Have I thrown an exception? Let's have a look. Put that in there and see what that does. Oh, I'm much happier coding C#. This is much nicer than Java. See you later, Fierce Gaming. Fire up OBS. There's clearly something not happy about this plugin. Couldn't load dsteam library, Steam apps, common Railworks plugins, raildriver.dll. Well, why not? Why not? Steam library, Steam apps, common, Railworks, plugins, raildriver.dll. Boom! It's right there. Oh, raildriver.dll is 32-bit. Oh no! Okay. I don't even know if you can do this. Yeah, this isn't going to work. What I'm going to have to do is pull that into a separate executable. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. Bum! It shouldn't show up that I'm playing Train Sim 2016, Whitemead. It should still say that I'm in creative. Right, okay. So that's made life just a little more tricky. However, all is not lost. All is not lost. How? Because if I run the my rail driver interface code, I think I can run it from here. No. If I run that one, if I run this, it's connected to train sim. It knows I'm not driving anything. So if I now hit replay, Whitemead, I am hoping the machine will arrive sometime tomorrow, in which case I will try and stream tomorrow night. Right, so this now knows that it's German Railroad Radar roll material GRBR143 because that's what I'm driving, and just to prove it, there you go, look, see, 143. So I can connect to this remotely. I don't think I've got Telnet on here, have I? Have I got Telnet? I don't. That would be too useful. I've got putty somewhere. What am I doing now, Gav and Super Tom? I'm making a plugin which will update the background image in OBS. So, where is putty? TS rail driver socket, is that the right one? Start the server. And then open a connection. Connection refused, that's nice. Oh, wrong port number. There you go, TS Connect. So we now have a connection. So if I change the loco, to a different one. Can't remember if I have to ask it for the loco name. That one. While it loads the other loco up. So in here, then I'm going to try and there's a socket handling in here. TSC client. It's got all the basics. So get loco name is just L and read back. So in theory, we've now got a class 444 L. Oh! Oh, something's crashed. Typical. (9987) start the server. Restart. L. There you go. So now I can see what the loco name is that's working. So I can connect to the TS Connect, and that will do the 64-bit, 32-bit bridging for me. Right. That's good. Right, that is not quite as slick as I was hoping for, but it will do the job. So I need to connect and then just issue an L. So in here, let's go back to a plugin. Wait, mid. No. I would not be doing a 24-hour stream. But I might do sort of a 2 or 3 hours Saturday night and 2 or 3 hours Sunday night, or something like that. I'll need to spend some time actually getting the machine set up, but 40-hour stream, no, Flying Scotsman. You're trying to kill me. Don't answer that. Come on, are we in yet? Anytime you like, computer. It's a problem. I've got train sim running and now the machine's running like a dog. Oh, I've got... It's on a Specky. Oh, that's awesome fun. Spectrum Basic. Sinclair Basic is great. So I'm going to create a helper class here which will manage all of the client interface for me. So I'm going to add a class which is going to be TSC client. And in this class, which will be public, so I want other people to access it, and I want to have a private. This is going to be. I'm going to make it. It doesn't need to be singleton. Let's not overdo things. So I want a private socket. It's a TCP client that I want actually, and let's import that. And a stream writer and a stream reader. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head how I do all this sockety stuff. Constructor. Let's do an ensure connected, which we'll do try client equals new TCP client 127.0.0.1 port 9987 twit not in a string. Equals new stream reader client.get stream writer client.get stream, and then catch exception. Well, I'm just going to catch and not do anything. This is hacked. This is totally hacked. I am playing Train Sim. It's on another screen, but the thing is I'm not actually playing it, I'm running it though. Right, public, so having ensured that I'm connected to the TS Connect, I want to do a string get loco name, which is going to be ensure connected if that all works, then we are working, and if not, we are false. And if is connected, then I want to writer.writeLine L and return reader.readline. Oh, this is horrific. I'm not any error checking this at all. What I want to do then is the get loco name will return an empty string. Otherwise, let's use that. I don't need that. Or that. Or that. In here, however, instead of trying to connect to that, we're going to have a private TSC client, and we're going to say client is new TSC client. And then in here, in render, instead of doing that, I'm going to say client.getLocoName, and then that should do pretty much the same thing ish. As long as that stays connected anyway. So that's all good. I need to go back into here. Maybe a slideshow. Drop that into there. And run OBS. Anytime. Thank you. So we hit preview. Oh, look at that, we've got a background image. Albeit the whole thing is getting seriously spammed out because it's calling render and it's having us spamming the heck out of sockets, trying to get the updated loco name. Now what I'm going to do is, remember it's only displaying one cab image at the moment, but it'll even sort that out. That's good. So if I pick a scenario and run it, then we'll check the log file and make sure the log file is all happy. What I'll do is I'll make it so that it's maybe once a second it checks the loco name, once every 10 or 5 seconds or 10 seconds even, rather than at the moment it's every frame. No wonder it's doing 2 frames per second at the moment. Just waiting for the game to load. I might even spin off a thread to do this socket thing so that it's outside of the frame cycle. That way it won't, because even as it stands at the moment, it's going to interfere with it. So that's run a scenario with the BR232. Let's quit out of that. What we should find now is if I stop that preview and exit OBS, aside from my machine. Oh no, it's no happy because Train Sim's running. That's why the frame rate's through the CPU's through the roof. Oh, look at this load texture nonsense that's going on here. Change loco to TS Connect. Excellent. Interestingly, it didn't seem to pick it up. I suspect it's just because it was going so slow. It probably hadn't actually caught up with the fact that it had changed. Let me slow that right down. So instead of doing that, I'm going to do a public or private void check loco, and I'm going to keep a note of the last time I checked it. And then in here, so say every 5 seconds. Then we will do this. Oh, it's time span, not time diff. Right. Every 5 seconds it shouldn't be. I mean, every 60 seconds is probably okay, but 5 seconds, to be honest, should be trivial enough. And it's only going to do anything if it actually changes. So all it's going to do is ping a socket and come back. The game itself is doing far more than that. And I think I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to offload it to a separate thread anyway, so it's not even going to interfere with the FPS. So we do change loco to that. Good. Let's drop that in and then run that. At least the frame rate should be a lot better in OBS now. Oh, it won't do anything at the moment because I'm not calling it. That's really good, Matt. Excellent. Nice job. Matt, cheer up. I don't. This is my happy face. When I'm concentrating, my face looks as miserable as all heck. I get all sorts of funky things from people saying basically what you just said, saying, "What's going on, Matt? When did the world end?" It's only Christmas tomorrow if the machine actually arrives, of course. So we're getting 30 frames per second now. Oh, here we go. Oh, of course, we were waiting for that to update, weren't we? Now we're back down to 2 seconds again. Oh, because I'm calling it every 5... Oh! Once it's done it the first time, it calls it every time. Because I blew it. I blew it! Yeah, once a total seconds is greater than 5, we start calling it all the time. What I'm supposed to do is say last check equals date time dot now. Twit. And that way it will do 5 seconds, then 5 seconds, then 5 seconds, and it should work a lot better. Right, so preview. So we need to wait 5 seconds. We get a background image. It's good 30 FPS still. We can move this around. So we haven't got any frame rate issues there. That's much happier. Good, so we are happy. So if I now do a different train. Get that loaded. Copy promo, it's almost certainly the fact that I'm running 2 copies of OBS. Is this working now? Can you see this? Right, so the game's loaded. What I'll do is I'll turn the webcam, because the webcam is loaded on here as well. Let me turn the webcam off on this profile. Mad Matt UK, this is C#. So I'm waiting. Make sure it's definitely picked it up, and then I'm going to come out and load a different train. Part of the problem is I've started this new copy with Dash Multi. I've not started the other copy with Dash Multi, and I don't know whether or not that makes a difference. Right, let's load a different train up. Give that 10 seconds, and then we'll see. We'll go and have a look at the log file and see if magic is happening. C++ is hard, Mad UK. It's worth learning. It's a good language, but it's hard. If you're going to start, I'd start with C#, to be honest. C# is very easy by comparison. Gav T, that's horrible. I'm really sorry to hear that, mate. That's horrible. Good to see you on the channel. Right, so let's come out of there now. And we will stop that, close it. Oh, why are you trolling me? Oh no, that ain't gonna work. It's gonna keep trying to reconnect and reconnect and reconnect. I'm surprised I'm not running out of resources. What I am going to do is in here do catch an exception and say is connected is false, return nothing. You will have nothing. Right. Maybe that will work better. Actually, before we go any further, what did slightly concern me about this last log file is it still loaded this texture loads of times. I don't quite understand why it's doing that. Oh, because I'm still doing it once every 5 seconds, aren't I? I'm not just doing it if it changes. That's fine, because that will change once I get the right code in. It'll only load a new one when it needs to. Thanks, Dave. Did you see a ZX Spectrum folder there? You did indeed. I've been playing with Specky emulators. I'm learning how to drive Southern Belle so I can stream it, because I think that's got to be done. This, by the way, this is my rail driver interface. I don't know if anyone's seen that before. This is my dodgy code that I wrote for talking to the rail drivers and all sorts of things. So I'm going to give that slightly concerned the time's not going up. Because it has crashed. This one's still working. Problem is I can't tell which one is the one that's working. So I don't know which one to end task. Close, close, boom. The icon for TS Connect is the Visual Studio standard default icon if you don't put your own an icon of your own in something that you're driving. So, what happened in the log file here? So one thing I do need to do is when I come and do a connect, I need to do a reader.read line to get rid of that TS connect line at the top. Run the plugin. Yep, that's it, Simon. It's just standard. If you create any app in Visual Studio and don't assign an icon, that's the icon it gets. Oh dear, apparently my plugin is rather horribly crashing OBS. Yep, it's dead. Nothing in the log file. That's all I'm trying to do in the socket. That's working. So get loco, we'll do ensure connected. If not connected, then connect and say we're connected. If we are connected, send an L, read a read line, and come out. Next time around, ensure connected should be still true, and we're all good. So that should be fine. Can you make OBS plugins in C#? Yes, you need to use the CLR plugin and then host your CLR host plugin, and then you put your plugin within that, but then it can do just about anything. It's the CLR host plugin is very, very good. Right. Loco name dot equals false, then we do change loco to. I'm going to spam the log file a bit. Check logo. Right. What code for TS? TS is written in C++. There's some bits of C#, like the launcher and so forth. Utilities.exe is in C#. See you later, Moricom. But the core game is C++. As most games are, to be honest. Unity code games tend to use C#, but a lot of games use C++. Right, so When that plug goes in, it's basically just dies because it's blocking. Suggests it's not getting a response from the server. Illinois Train Lover, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. As soon as it stopped, we'll have a look and see if any of these things got added to the log file. I suspect get loco name is blocking because it's going to come in here, ensure connected. And read line, then we must have must get a response. Good morning, John O'Neill. So we've got lots of check locos. We go into checking and we die. So it is the communication with the TS Connect that's causing the problem, because we go into here, call client.getLocoName. Maybe it's not right line I want to do, it's right plus environment.new line or something like that. Got a good feeling I get the piece in the morning? Well, that would be pretty awesome. That would be pretty awesome. Nope, it's dead again. So it's not that. Ah, there's the problem. I'm not flushing it, which means it's going into a buffer and never actually going out via the socket. Take it, I'm staying home. I'd love to, but you know what? I've got a game to make. Ready to run OBS. There you go. We're in a happy place now. So let's close that down and see what the log file says. Spammy McSpammerson is in the log file. There we go. Checking loco, got it back. There you go. RSC class 444 pack 1, class 444 demock. So now I can do something a little bit funkier. So in here, VS projects. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Our driver, bin, debug, scripts. That's my script library. So let's Undo Spammy McSpammerson here. We don't need to have all of this nonsense. What I do need is, let me have a look and see what background images I've got for the purposes of a quick test. BR423 we've got. BR423.jpg. Which is Munich Rosenheim one. Which is that. Let's find another one. So it's going to be the pain of this plugin is going to be setting it up. That is the Javelin. We've got 66. I'm sure I got a 66. I do. CL66. This is not final code. I'm just slapping this in at the moment so that I can tidy it up in a minute. Ideally, this lot would all go into a lookup table, but I'm going to solve that problem another night. At this point, I just want to prove the theory. That's a class 66. So that will do. So, what I need to do is to have a... Right. This is horrible, but it'll do for now. If current loco name dot equals, then else if code name dot equals, else if current loco name dot equals that. Right, now if it equals that one, and that should be dot colon dot colon dot. Just double check that log file. Yep, that's exactly right. So that's the Javelin DPTS2. That is that 423, and then that is the Trent Valley 66, in which case on this one I load that texture, in this one I load that texture, and in this one I load that texture. Right. That's disgraceful coding, but never mind. Minimize that, put the latest plugin in there. So, So we'll wait for the first 5 seconds and nothing's showing up, which is good. So the first thing I'm going to do then is we're going to run TS2016. So let's find out what happens when we do that. Hopefully, a few seconds after the scenario loads, it'll pop up with the right background image, which will be exceptionally cool. Put the game here just so that you can see what's going on. Laptop goes boom. It's getting a bit warm, it has to be said. Fry an egg on that. Not quite, but at least not hygienically. Please don't put an egg anywhere near my laptop. Which is where you find it crashes, because it's been running and restarting and running and restarting. Oh no, we are going. Sometime this week, maybe it will load. Like I said, this machine, even though it's got SSDs, it's not the fastest machine on the planet. And this route, to be honest, the Thompson route is a fairly big route to load. Oh dear, oh dear. I haven't thought about what scenarios I'm going to run. I might, to be honest, stick initially to the ones that are on from some of the new DLCs, so the GP30, Black Forest. If you closed everything, it might go faster. Nah, this machine's got 16 gig of RAM with all the stuff I've got open. It's fine. It's not memory it's running out of. Not even remotely. Memory's only half used. It's CPU it's running out of, and running 2 copies of OBS is not helping matters. There we go. Now what would be really cool here but it didn't work. Gosh darn it. See what the log says. Change loco to Thompson, West Coast Mainline, Trent Valley, Class 66 DRS. Ah, spaces. That's better. Is it hard to convert 32-bit to 64-bit? It can be very, very difficult. It's one of those things that you can almost... Getting the code to recompile with 64-bit is not massively difficult. Potentially. It depends. If you're using 32-bit third-party libraries, then you're stuffed. Because they all need to be rebuilt as 64-bit as well. And if there's no 64-bit version, then you haven't got a hope. But... if you can get all your third-party libraries up to 64-bit, and you can get your main code compiling 64-bit, then you find out all the things that no longer work because you assumed things were a certain size, because certain variable types, they've got the same name but they're different sizes under 64-bit. They're twice as big in memory, and then all of a sudden things that did work don't work anymore, and it gets really awful. So it's one of those things that it's how long is a piece of string really, is in terms of how hard is it to convert. It can be easy, it can be hard. Hi there, T. Welcome, my friend. Right, let's give it the 5 seconds. Hopefully the 66 will appear. It didn't. That's rubbish. Look in the log file again. I'm sure they're saying the same thing now. Thompson, WC Trent Valley, Class 66 DRS. So loco name is the one that we get that's actually real. If they're different, then make the current one equal to that, and then that works. Okay. So current loco name goes into there. What am I missing? No, they are exactly the same. Looking forward to installing train files tomorrow. Yeah, really. Is there a program that will do it, or does it need an expert like you? It needs an expert not like me. I've never done 32-bit to 64-bit conversion. But yeah, it's one of those things that if it's possible, then it's a little bit of work getting the compiling to work, and I don't mean that to mean it's small. I mean it's a small part of the job. And then a whole lot of just testing the heck out of it and seeing what weird things don't quite work. And they'd be strange, really strange things, like the loco will go maybe twice as fast, or the wheels will turn twice as fast around corners, or the physics will bounce the loco twice as much, or there could be really odd things that you don't necessarily appreciate until you test it over and over and over again. Not just corruptions and things like that. It can be all sorts of things that that just don't work properly. So let's put api.instance.log. It's this one, dummy. And then we'll put something in here that said, well, that's all done. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Get a new PC tomorrow. That should be a little slice of awesome. Then we can get back to streaming properly. Oh, I was telling everybody else earlier on, if you are having problems with memory running out of memory because you're running complex scenarios and things, I've run a test this afternoon of every single graphics setting to work out which ones have an impact on memory usage. Because I knew that at least one of them did, but I didn't know which one it did or how it affected it. There is only one, and it's scenery quality. Everything else, from full anti-aliasing to nothing, full anisotropic to nothing, view distance, all that stuff has no effect at all on memory usage. Scenery quality has a massive effect on memory usage. If you turn the scenery quality right down to minimum, which makes the textures a bit blurry, then it can reduce your memory footprint by half. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So if you're having a major problem, you might want to just try knocking that setting one down and see whether or not, because that, in my testing, that saved me about 350 meg of memory. And it's not ideal having less. Only half, as in half of the memory used for the entire route and all the trains. It's amazing how much memory that saves. Right, let's try this. It's getting late. I need to be getting this working. Moving on. Boom! Class 66 has appeared. Excellent. So what happens now if I change to the class 395? Let's do Far Horizons and see what happens. So I think on my new rig I'm going to be running it with maximum SSAA and possibly turning the scenery quality down 1 or even 2 notches. Like I said, it'll make things possibly a bit blurry when you look up close to them, but it means you're highly unlikely to ever have any out of memory errors, because of the major difference it makes. Just waiting for the game to load. TGV! Woo! So I find it's the other 395, because each end has got a different name. Right, so let's move that out of the way, shut that down and see what it said in the log file. That was DPTS 1. Sure enough, I've got it down as DPTS 2. Just the other side. That'll capture both. I should be, if I get the new machine, then I should be streaming tomorrow. If I don't get the new machine tomorrow, then I may well not stream at all tomorrow. Just have a break. Or I might stream the bottom and carry on with this plugin and make it tidy and nice. Right. Rebuilt. Copied in. Give the mods a beak? Why would the mods need a beak, Dave? Did you Nebworth the R? Nice T. See you later. Oh, we have a 395. Don't worry about the 0 in the bottom there. We'll get rid of that later. So, the acid test now is, if I come out of the 395 and go back to the 66, will load TS at home will work. I'll do it at home. I've got a much faster connection at home. I'm not too bothered. I don't think it will take too long to get it TS reinstalled on this link. An hour or two at most. So we're now waiting for the class 66 to load. And hopefully when it's finished the image will change on the screen. And if that works, that's kind of proven the end-to-end of the plugin, and then all I need to do is make it nice and not rubbish. Because frankly the code is rubbish at the moment. Connection at work should be faster than at home, as it should be on a larger network bandwidth cap. No, I don't think so. I mean, I've got 200 megabit connection at home. I don't think we've got 200 megabit at work. I think we've got 100 megabit at work. Not only that, you're sharing that bandwidth with everybody else, whereas at home I just have to tell the kids to not use the internet for a little while. Or switch them off on the router. Oh, the internet's not working at the moment. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna give Virgin a call in a minute. Not that I've ever done that before. Oh, this is a big old root trend valley, isn't it? Dad tax. Oh, go on then. What's dad tax? Boom! And 60 cab changed to the 66. Awesome! So that works really good. That works nicely. So that's enough for tonight, I think. That proves the point. The next step on this plugin is to tidy it up and put all of the lookups for loco names to images into a file. Make it to where I can define them in settings using the settings pop-up box. A bit like when you pop up one of these, you can put settings. So I can add settings to this plugin so that it can I can add stuff, and I can manually choose which one, because sometimes I'm going to run a train I haven't set up a background for because I don't have one, but then I want to be able to pop something up and manually pick one of those. So I need to do that as well. And what else have I got to do? Get all of the other images in. And that's basically it. So yeah, another hour or two on this, and that should see it done, pretty much, which is good. So that works. Excellent. I'm quite pleased with that. That's a result. Let me stop that consuming lots of extra CPU. So that's it from me then, folks, tonight. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. We did a bit of Minecraft first, then we did a bit of Minecraft plugins first, OBS plugins second. And Dad texts the daughters have to share. Yep, so that's it from me tonight. If the new PC arrives tomorrow, then I will let everybody know, and we'll try and get a stream running tomorrow. I don't know when it will be. It depends how long it takes to get the machine set up, installed, and something to actually see running on the thing. But we will see we will see. First thing is to get the machine here. If the machine doesn't arrive, then anything else is kind of pointless. But if it does arrive, then I will do a stream, even if I have to start it at midnight. Dang it. Until then, have a good evening, a good morning, sorry, and I will see you, hopefully, fingers crossed, tomorrow. Alright? Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye-bye.